Welcome to Lesson 3 in the Ninth City Cosmology, Adventures in Consciousness. In the first lesson, we defined the goal of the Ninth City as world peace. We defined what a city is, and we discussed the 8 major cities of Patanjali. We learned that peace would be accomplished through large group meditation, which produces a denser unified field called superradiance. To incentivize people to meditate in large groups, the movement uses cities and yogic attainments to win lotteries. In the second lesson, we learned more about the unified field, more about pure consciousness, and more about transcendental meditation. We learned how resonating with the unified field influences our lives and the lives of others. In Lesson 3, we dive deep into the precise point where the two energy systems just overlap a little bit, and how this experience helps bring about a nonviolent world and a successful lottery prediction. For the ninth city, and this is where it gets really interesting, in the process of transcending, that is moving, maybe I should say, in the process of broadening our awareness from the physical energy system to the unified field, many states of consciousness become apparent. The most important to us is at the precise junction between the physical energy system and the unified field. It is at this junction point that all the cities, all the yogic attainments, all psychic powers are realized. This is where it's all happening. At this precise point, the ninth city experiences both energy systems at the same time. While experiencing this meditative state, the body remains quiet, while the mind stays alert and focused. This experience will take some explaining. When we say that the body remains quiet, we mean that it is not constantly signaling the mind for attention. One of the body's primary needs is oxygen. Consequently, the body is constantly alerting the mind for this vital need. So the ninth city uses breathing exercises called pranayama to oxygenate the blood. Then, in order to concentrate the oxygenated blood into the lungs and brain, and by brain I mean the crown chakra's high spiritual energy center located near the top of the brain, she sits on her calves and on her thigh muscles, and this squeezes the blood out of the muscles and into the lungs and spiritual energy centers. The result is that without the constant need for oxygen, the body is able to go on cruise control, maybe just for a few minutes. In this way, the body and the breath become quiet. Now that the mind, having remained alert and focused, begins to repeat a mantra which resonates the mind with the unified field. The mind, engrossed in resonating with the powerful unified field, and the body quiet, transcends physical reality and experiences life as pure consciousness. It is at this precise point where transcendence occurs that the Siddhian experiences both the physical energy system and the unified field, all at the same time. It is at this precise point where all the cities and all yogic attainments, all psychic powers are realized. Now, because the mind has stayed alert at the precise point of transcendence, she is able to use strong, loving intentions to move through the unified field while witnessing physical reality as if in a dream. At this point, she's able to use the most powerful energy in the universe to influence physical reality using Siddhic techniques described in really, really old text. I think that's really cool. I think that's the coolest thing in the whole universe. But even more incredible, as I have said and written so many times, the unified field it's not bound by time or space. By that I mean it's not constrained by the speed of light. So although the body can only maintain quietness for a minute or two, that minute or two, while you're experiencing a unified field, because it's not bound by time and space, can feel like hours, or it could be a full eternity, depending on the quality of the experience. This gives the Siddhian the ability to witness all of physical time, from the dawn of creation to the end of time. Think back for a minute to lesson 1. If you remember, at least 4 of Patanjali's siddhis are based on not being bound by time or space. For example, the first siddhi he discusses is knowing the past, present, and future. Others are proficiency in the out-of-body state, knowledge of previous births, and dying when one desires. So what I'm getting at is, given the ability to experience a state of consciousness that is not bound by time or space, these siddhis become much more reasonable. They're more rational, I think. It frees us to witness life from a totally new perspective. It makes prediction of random number sequences, like lottery numbers, a real possibility. Now, I'm not saying that these yogic and siddhic techniques makes lottery number prediction easy. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that it's very, very difficult. I'm saying that it's much easier to witness the dawn of creation than a 3-numeral lottery number sequence manifesting in a few hours. Much more difficult. Even for the most practiced individual, predicting a 3 or 4 number game is extremely difficult. The Siddhian's vision is blurred. It's unclear. It's like trying to see through a fog. But every now and then, depending on the quality of the Siddhian's daily practice, the fog lifts a little bit. And the predictor is able to correctly predict maybe 1, maybe 2 out of 3 numerals in the lottery number. It's only by combining many predictions from Siddhians that are meditating in large groups that we change the probabilities of winning a lottery. Now, can we change the probabilities enough to generate significant wealth? Only time and statistical analysis will tell. Helping the 9th Siddhian in this endeavor is the fact that she is meditating in a really large group. Large meditating groups increase the density of the unified field. And as we know, increased density of the unified field increases our psychic abilities. It is the increased density that produces superradiance and therefore world peace. But the increased density also helps the Siddhian predict random numbers as well. Also helping in this quest for world peace and successful lottery wins are new technological tools coming online, like intention-imprinted electronic devices, or IIEDs for short. The 9th Siddhi is working with research institutes to bring IIEDs to market. These intention-imprinted devices will also help to increase the density of the unified field. And another new tool is semi-sync technology. This technology, developed by Robert Monroe, is already being used to quickly produce broader states of awareness, which will help the Siddhian achieve the goals of the 9th Siddhi. It seems to me that once the experience of pure consciousness is internalized, and by that, what I mean by that is once we begin to experience life in both the physical energy system as well as the unified field, the drama of the world is acted out with the cadence and the rhythm of a beautiful song. Those on the path, they sing it well, while others never quite learn its meaning and therefore never quite pick up on a melody. Thank you for watching Lesson 3, Adventures in Consciousness.